to join you today to witness this historic event of the signing of the tripartite agreement for the construction of the East African crude oil pipeline from Hoima, Uganda to Tanga Port, Tanzania, which upon completion will be the longest heated pipeline in the world. Before I go further, allow me to express my sincere sense of gratitude to my brother, His Excellency President Museveni, for the cordial invitation and warm hospitality that he has accorded to me and my entire delegation. On this note, I also wish to commend him for the meticulous organization of this event. It is worth noting that this event was scheduled to take place on the 22nd of March this year. However, it didn't due to sudden and untimely demise of my predecessor, the late President Dr. John Pombe Magufuli. And so once again, I seize this opportunity to thank President Museveni, the government of Uganda, as well as our cooperating partners, the international oil companies, for their decision to postpone this event. Indeed, this kind of gesture portrays a true definition of friendship and partnership. We thank you very much, Your Excellency. We all know how the late President Magufuli was an ardent and strong supporter of this project, and so postponing the event was an honor to his commitment in the realization of this project. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the signing of this agreement is an auspicious occasion, not just for Uganda and Tanzania, but the entire East Africa region. As we are all aware, this project will have an impact on socio-economic development and geostrategic dynamics. Among other benefits, the project will yield revenues to both countries while creating short and long-term employment for both highly skilled and semi-skilled professionals as well as casual laborers, thus addressing the unemployment challenge, especially among the youth. It is expected that more than 10,000 employment opportunities are expected to be created during execution and upon its completion. Apart from socio-economic benefits, the project will also stimulate trade, investment, as well as unlocking the East Africa's oil potential, thus attracting more investors. More importantly, this project will strengthen strategic partnership and cooperation between our two brotherly countries, and in addition, it will forge further the regional integration and people's interaction. It is my firm belief that this project, once completed, will be of an advantage to both our countries and our region at large. And on this note, allow me to commend all parties involved for their dedicated commitment and unyielding sacrifice towards the realization of this common goal. I'm quite conversant that prior to the implementation of this project, there are still pending issues that need to be addressed. And in this regard, I urge all parties to work together to address the remaining issues to ensure the expeditious start of this project. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, our region is well endowed with abundant natural resources, which includes oil, gas, minerals, diverse number of wildlife and plants, as well as livestock and marine ecosystems. In order to fully and effectively exploit and utilize these resources, we need quality infrastructure. Without it, Economic development will just be a myth. And in this respect, I'm pleased to note that our countries have now embarked on building strategic infrastructure to support these endeavors. Apart from the pipeline, we have embarked on the construction of roads, ports, airports, railways, as well as power plants to generate electricity. This is indeed a significant step in the right direction. I humbly wish to encourage all the countries in the region to continue building these infrastructures and projects that shall spur our economic growth. Your Excellency President Museveni, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, before I conclude, let me once again reiterate my heartfelt appreciation to you and the entire people of Uganda for a fraternal and warm welcome in this beautiful city of Entebbe, and in this occasion in particular. This is my first trip outside my country since I took oath of an office. And so I thank you very much for this invitation. And I'm very happy to be in Uganda. Uganda and Tanzania are not only neighbors and joined by Kagera River and Lake Victoria, but are also friends and blood brothers. For decades long, we have kept a close cooperation at bilateral, regional, and multilateral fora. And in this respect, I wish to assure you, Your Excellency, and through you, the government and the brotherly people of Uganda, that under my stewardship, I'll cement further the existing relations and scale to a greater heights new areas of cooperation for the mutual benefit of our two countries and our peoples. I thank you very much, Your Excellency, and I thank you all for your kind attention. Thank you very much.
I'd like to thank Her Excellency Samia Suluhu Hassan for these insightful words, and please give her another round of applause. It's now my pleasure and honor to invite our chief host, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, to come and address us. Mr. President.
Your Excellency, President Samia Suluhu Hassan, the President of the United Republic of Tanzania, and your esteemed delegation, the Chief Executive Officer, Chairman, and delegation from Total Français, the President and delegation from siku, China, honorable ministers, ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellency, Samia Hassan, and your distinguished delegation, you are most welcome to your brother country of Uganda. Again, condolences on account of the death recently of our brother, His Excellency Magufuli. Also, congratulations on your inauguration as President of the United Republic of Tanzania. Thank you for responding to my invitation to join us and the Total Company of France and Sinuk Company of China to sign the agreement of the East African pipeline from Hoima to Tanga. Your brother country of Uganda discovered petroleum and gas in 2006. It has taken these 15 years before the first oil on account of the divergent perceptions between us and the oil companies. Initially, I did not favor the idea of pipeline. My question was, why export the oil? Don't the East Africans need the oil? In this thinking, I preferred an oil refinery only, so that we use the extractable oil out of the 6.5 billion barrels confirmed in only 20% of the potential area in the Mutanzije and Butumbi valleys, known as the Albertine grabbing by foreigners, satisfy the demand for the refined products for Uganda, northwestern Tanzania, western Kenya, Rwanda, Burundi, eastern Congo, South Sudan, and southwestern Ethiopia, with cheaper products on account of the lower transport costs. The demand in this zone is now 98,000 barrels per day. Uganda's demand is currently 39,000 barrels per day. At the price of $50 per barrel, equivalent to about $63 barrel for refined products, this locally refined petroleum would knock off $1.22 billion from Uganda's import expenditure for petrol, diesel, aviation fuel, and tar for the roads. If you include the petroleum byproducts, such as plastics, the saving on the import bill will add another $400 million. So that would make it almost $1.7 billion saving on imports. Using the extractable portion of the 6.5 billion barrels confirmed, this would ensure petroleum self-sufficiency for the Lake Victoria Basin countries and those neighboring them for a period of 38 years based on the present consumption levels. This oil refinery would be owned jointly by the East African countries if they agreed to participate. So that was my original plan. Why pipeline? Why export the oil? I had a rumor that there were human beings here who need the oil. Why do you take it away from them and you take it to others? Why don't they deal with the self-sufficiency? The oil companies, however, were biased in favor of exporting crude oil only. For them, chukua nje. Pangu, bakisha hapa ndani. The compromise then was, okay, let us have both, the refinery and the pipeline. So that's why we are here now. Most of this was when the Tanzanian route was not in the picture. We are still debating about Mombasa and Lamu of Kenya. When the Tanzanian route of Tanga became more viable, a new consideration entered my mind. the historical role of Tanzania in the liberation of Uganda in both 1978-79 and 1985-86. On these two occasions, Mwalimu Nyerere played a very important role. In the 1978-79 war, TPDF played a major role in removing Idi Amin from power. In 1985-86, Mwalimu Nyerere gave us 5,000 rifles at the right time, just before the assault on Kampala, starting on the 17th of January, 1986. Kenya, of course, is a brother country, just like Tanzania. However, historically, there is this unique role of Tanzania. I'm therefore most satisfied that the project will make a modest contribution to the development of Tanzania. It cannot compensate for the huge sacrifice Tanzania made for the defeat of Idi Amin and the liberation of the whole of Southern Africa, Mozambique, Zimbabwe, Angola, Namibia, and South Africa. It is just a modest contribution. Moreover, this pipeline project can be a core of bigger developments if the brothers in Congo and South Sudan choose to also use it for their oil. At the maximum, it can carry 230,000 barrels per day. Besides, the same corridor can take a return gas pipeline supplying Tanzanian and Mozambican gas to Uganda and the Great Lakes region. We can have a return, using that corridor, a return gas pipeline, because we need gas here. We need gas for iron ore. We've got iron ore, but processing it is, we don't have enough gas. We have some gas, but it's not enough. And the Ugandans, I think they are also getting a bit modernized. Cooking with firewood is not a good idea. So gas from Mozambique, from Tanzania. Our brother countries have got a lot of gas. Songo Zamani, I think that was the first one, Songo 1968. I salute the government of Tanzania for the tax concessions they made to keep the tariff paid by the owners of the oil to be limited to $12.77 per barrel. Recently, Uganda also made concessions regarding the land and export charges. This will in effect push the tariff to $13.03 per barrel, just a little bit up. The Lamu route was proposing $15.8 per barrel as tariff. All this is on account of the extractable portion of the 6.5 billion barrels confirmed and licensed for production, as already pointed out. This is, however, only 20% of the Mutanzige Butundi Basin, known to foreigners as the Albertine grabbing. There is a high chance for more oil and gas to be found in the remaining 80% of the oil province, especially in the Mutanzige area, such as Kibiro, Butiara, etc. Then there is a totally new hydrocarbon zone in the northeast of the country, in the Mount Kadam Basin. There are oil seepages on the surface. There are source rocks. There are reservoir rocks. And there are also trap rocks, accumulation of rocks, that have been seen by our experts. This petroleum, as Cassandra was saying, the PS, was actually discovered by our experts. What he was telling you in 1986, when Shell came to see me to give me a license, I asked a question. Is there anybody who knows anything about oil in Uganda? There was nobody. They brought me a Ghanaian from Bank of Uganda, was an economist, and his only knowledge of petroleum was that he was handling the import papers of petroleum products. So I said I cannot sign an agreement with ignorance on my side. So that's when I told the minister to pick these young people who had degrees in chemistry, degrees in physics, degrees in geology, to go for masters in petroleum studies in Imperial College London, University of Aberdeen, and so on. So they went, and they came back in 1989. When they came back, I called Shell. You come back, I'm now ready to negotiate. Shell had abandoned me. They said, no, we are no longer interested. Why? Because the Soviet Union had now opened up. There was a lot of oil in the Soviet Union, so Shell had opportunistically abandoned me. So I said, okay, doesn't matter, we shall look for the oil ourselves. So these are the people who looked for the oil and saw it through aeromagnetic, through seismological, through gravity, something. Then it now remained to drill and confirm. That's how the oil companies came in. They came in to drill, but to drill for what we already knew, to confirm. So I congratulate that team. How many of you are here? Stand up and they see you, the whole group, the ones who are here. But anyway, you come here. You na group yao. Our one of the Serikro. Anybody useful? If you are not useful, don't come, please. Okay, stand up, all of you together now. And they capture you. These are just, how big is your group now? How big is your group? Yes. These are degree holders. Degree holders. So that's how we created a petroleum unit in the Ministry of Energy. These are very highly qualified people. They know more about the oil than even the oil companies. Thank you very much. So there is that new province, the Karamoja zone. If the brother countries work together, there is then the oil in Congo and South Sudan. This pipeline could turn out to be a very important project that may serve the region, not only in the short term, but also in the medium, if not the long term. This project should, in addition to what we have said, serve to awaken all Africans that prosperity and strategic security are only possible if we use the Pan-Africanist approach that gives us a bigger market and rationalizes economic linkages. I cannot end these brief remarks without thanking Her Excellency Samia Hassan for indulging my sentimental request of conducting this signing ceremony on the 11th of April 2021. Mukumiro mungaro bonna. Engalo mbadeshi muri bakodo. 42 years ago, this same day, is when the Tanzanian troops of 20th Division captured Kampala and enabled the Ugandan army officer, Oito Jog, to announce the fall of Idi Amin and ready Uganda, this very day. At that very moment, with my rapidly growing Faranasa troops operating with another TPDF division, the Task Force Division under Major General Cyrus Mayunga, I was on the Mbarara front. 20th Division was under General Musuguri. Musuguri, not Munguri. This one who wrote. The name is Musuguri. Today, therefore, is a triple victory for Tanzania and Uganda. Ushindi wa mara tatu. Number one, military, kukumbuka. Number two, political, because military could not go without political cooperation with Mwalimu. And number three, now economic. Long live Tanzania, long live Uganda, long live President Hassan. Imekwenda wapi? Yuko hapa. My last page had got this. I thank Your Excellency and your delegation for coming to this function. I also salute the people of Tanzania for agreeing to host the project. Mungu ebariki Uganda, ebariki Tanzania, ebariki Africa. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Excellency President Museveni, for both incisive and historical speech on this special occasion. May I now request that Their Excellencies sign the joint communique, which will be read out after they have signed it. There.
Na mtazamaji wa TBC1, viongozi wa Tanzania na Uganda wakiendelea kutia saini makubaliano ya mkataba huu baada ya katika awamu ya kwanza kusainiwa na wabia wengine katika mradi huu ama wadau wengine katika mradi huu ambao ni kampuni ya Total, lakini pia kampuni ya siku kutoka nchini Uchina, na wote kwa pamoja wakimaliza hilo. Tanzania na Uganda ni miongoni mwa wale wakubwa sasa wanaofanya mradi huu ukamilike kwa nafasi yake. Rais wa Uganda Yoweri Kaguta Museveni akimaliza kuhutubia hapo anaanguka wino ama anashusha wino katika kuhakikisha mradi huu unakwenda kukamilika. Rais wa Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania Samia Suluhu Hassan, ambaye mahususi kabisa amekwenda kushuhudia tukio hilo, pia anatia saini katika shughuli muhimu ya leo, na shughuli nyingine za uratibu wa tukio ama hafla yenyewe zikiendelea. Na alipo katika jukwaa sasa ni waziri wa mashauri ya kigeni wa Uganda Samu Kutesa na viongozi wengine mbalimbali ambao kwa nafasi kubwa sana wanafanya mradi huu wa ujenzi wa bomba la mafuta kutoka Kabale kule nchini Uganda Hoima mpaka kufikia Chongole yani Tanga. Inaleta nafasi kubwa ama fursa kubwa kwa pande hizi mbili na manufaa ambayo yataangaziwa kwa nafasi ya pekee kabisa. Kilomita 1443 na ikitoa nafasi kubwa kwa ukuaji wa kiuchumi na upatikanaji wa mafuta katika eneo hili la ukanda wa Afrika Mashariki, na Uganda wakichagua Tanzania kwa nafasi hiyo ya pekee. Na mafuta hayo yakifika, basi itakuwa ni nafasi kwa wafaidika wakubwa kupitia bandari yetu ya Tanga ambayo inaendelea kuimarika kusafirisha mafuta. Tumesikia pia Rais Yoweri Kaguta Museveni akisema kwamba itakuwa ni jambo jema kwa ukanda wote huu, mikoa ya kaskazini na nchi za jirani. Sasa Samu Kutesa, waziri wa mashauri ya kigeni wa Uganda, anaendelea kuzungumza, tusikilize.
Uganda invited Her Excellency Samia Suluhu Hassan, President of the United Republic of Tanzania, to attend and witness the signing ceremony of the host government agreement between the government of Uganda and the Republic of Uganda and ECOP company on 11th April 2021 at State House in Tebe, Uganda. Noting that the two heads of state held bilateral talks on a wide range of issues of mutual interest and expressed their satisfaction with the excellent relations and cooperation that so happily exists between the two countries, and further reiterated the commitment to deepen cooperation in various areas including trade, infrastructure, transport, and social affairs. Further noting that the heads of state observed a minute of silence on the passing on of the late President, His Excellency Dr. John Pombe Joseph Magufuli, the 5th President of the United Republic of Tanzania. In this regard, the two presidents cherished the immense contribution of the late President Magufuli to working towards the cause of the East African community, fostering and nurturing bilateral relations and cooperation between the two countries, and providing an unequivocal support and commitment to the realization and implementation of the strategic East African crude oil pipeline project. Understanding that 26th May 2017, the government of the Republic of Uganda and the United Republic of Tanzania signed the Intergovernmental Agreement, IGA, on the implementation of the East African crude oil pipeline project. Recalling the commitments made by His Excellency, the late Dr. John Pombe Joseph Magufuli, the 5th President of the United Republic of Tanzania, and His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda, during their meeting at Chato Gate, Tanzania on 13th September 2020, that each state party to conclude the host agreement with COP with Eco Project Company, commenced negotiations of all pending project agreements with immediate effect and expedite the implementation of Eco Project. Acknowledging the progress made in negotiations and finalization of the host agreement between the United Republic of Tanzania and the Eco Company, and commending the signing of the host government agreement between the government of the Republic of Uganda and the Eco Company on 11th April 2021, and further noting that all outstanding issues related to Eco project have been amicably resolved, and also recognizing that the shareholding agreement has also been signed by all stakeholders on 11th of April 2021, reiterating their commitment and realization of the Eco project for the benefit of the people of the Republic of Uganda and the United Republic of Tanzania in the spirit of East African cooperation. Now, therefore, the two heads of state agree and direct as follows. One, that each state party takes all necessary steps required for the implementation of the Eco project. Two, that having concluded the tariff and transportation agreement and the host government agreement for the Republic of Uganda and the shareholders agreement for shareholders to the Eco Company, the companies can now launch the Eco project and award the main engineering, procurement, and construction projects. Three, the United Republic of Tanzania to finalize signing of the host agreement and related agreements between the government and Eco Company, dated at Entebbe, Uganda, on the 11th day of April 2021, and signed by His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda, Her Excellency Samia Suluhu Hassan, President of the United Republic of Tanzania. I thank you. The next is a group photograph outside, and thereafter, for invited guests, the luncheon hosted by His Excellency the President.
Naam, mtazamaji wa TBC1, anayetoka kuzungumza hapo sasa ni Sam Kutesa, waziri wa mambo ya nje wa Uganda, akihitimisha mchakato wote wa hafla hii, na zinakwenda sasa kupigwa picha ya pamoja baina ya viongozi waandamizi ambao wamehudhuria katika shughuli ya leo, pamoja na wadau wa mradi mzima katika shughuli ya utiaji saini wa mkataba kati ya serikali ya Uganda na kampuni ya mafuta ghafi ya Afrika Mashariki EACOP. Na shughuli hii inaendelea kufanya mradi huu ukae katika mnyororo ule wa utekelezwaji hadi hapo utakapokamilika. Na tupate mapumziko kidogo. Kapo linakujia na tutazungumza kwa urefu hapa na mchambuzi wetu Goodluck Ngingo kuhusiana na hafla hii na namna bomba hili la mafuta ghafi litakavyokuwa linafanya kazi na manufaa yake kwa Tanzania, lakini pia kwa jumuiya ya Afrika Mashariki kwa ujumla. Endelea kusalia nasi, punde tunarejea na Kapo.
Hapa Mazimbu nimefika mwaka 1982 nikiwa na mume wangu Mlungisi Agostino Tanda, ambaye alikuwa mpiganiaji uhuru. Alinioa akanileta hapa.
Kwa hiyo hii ni eneo la hospitali ya Mazimbu kwa ajili ya kupigania uhuru wa ANC pamoja na majirani zao walikuwa jirani ya eneo hili. Kuna daktari sasa hivi simkumbuki, lakini kule alikuwa waziri wa afya Afrika Kusini. Aliwahi kunitibia hapa. Na hata alipokuwa waziri alikuja hapa Tanzania na alikuja hapa hospitali.